Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Board Masters with me, Chris Mullins, and tonight I will be unboxing the second of my Kickstarter games that have started to fulfill, following on from Roll Camera, the filmmaking board game last Saturday. Tonight I will be opening Cascadia by Flatout Games, which is kind of a spiritual follow-up to Calico, which I'm planning to be unboxed on the channel next week, hopefully, all being well. And yeah, it's a very similar game from what I understand. And instead of, putting together a quilt and creating patterns to attract cats, you're creating ecosystems in order to attract wildlife or North American wildlife to come and live in your ecosystem, basically. And I'm guessing similarly that there were cats that gave you more points in Calico, you'll get more points depending on the type of animal you attract in Cascadia. Now, first off, I love the art style, I love the theme. Although I'm not North America based, it is an area of the world that's full of beautiful animals, so it definitely appeals to me. Oh, I like the fact that they have an introductory page on the Pacific Northwest with some just information on the territory. That is really cool and really appreciated. And it looks like they actually have a bit more information on the scoring cards than perhaps they did in Calico, where it's basically just the cats and the shape of the pattern or that you needed to create. So, I don't know, maybe with these animals, it could potentially be that they're a bit more complicated in terms of how you need to set up your ecosystem to attract them, possibly. Be interesting to have a look through it, a bit more detail going forward. They've got the achievement system, which is pretty cool. Again, from my video gaming days, I spent many an hour grinding for trophies. I became a bit of a platinum trophy obsessive over the last few years before board games kind of came in and kicked that into the dust. But giving me achievements to do in board games could be quite dangerous, but also help me actually achieve what I need to do. So you've got the different, obviously, terrain tiles here, and obviously the combinations of the terrains are going to attract different types of animals. So woodland and water can attract like a bear and salmon, whereas, yeah, they combine really nicely. And foxes can be in the plains. Not sure how a woodland plain tile can attract a salmon, but we'll see. And these fir cones that are dotted around the outside perhaps have similarity to buttons in Calico, where you get them for matching colours. Perhaps you get similar in this with the fir cones, I'm not sure. But again, these all look very, very cool and very pretty, very diverse. Got some snowy alpine areas. Some areas of more water. Okay, and these are obviously the tokens for the animals. There's an awful lot more of these than there are the cat ones in Calico, I imagine. I didn't expect there to be this many of these, to be honest. I suppose if you're playing 4 or 5 players, you're going to need a lot of them. But they are very cool. I don't know, maybe I missed it as part of the campaign, but I didn't really expect them to be wooden. And then got a cool cloth bag. Again, always been a fan of these since Isle of Cats. I don't know why sort of bag drawing is a mechanic that I seem to enjoy so much, but it definitely is. We got the scorecard to make it a bit easier to... Okay, so based on that, it's not just the animals, it's going to be the actual type of terrain as well. and you do get points for Furcones, so obviously that's going to be something important that you need to attract. Okay, it's got the grizzly bears. Okay, so you get points for groups of bears. You get pairs of elk. You get points for the foxes, for how many different animals are around it. Scores for a single pair or triple of... Okay, so it's one other species, but the amount of that species that's touching it. Red-tailed hawk. Okay, so they get points for having unoccupied tiles next to them. Salmons get points for salmon gathering together. Okay, so they're the promo cards from the Kickstarter. That's cool. So they give a little bit of a twist on the scoring, and these, I guess, are going to be the standard retail versions of the cards. So you get mating pairs of bear, so they can't have anything. There's mother and cubs. Families. Okay, so there's lots of different scoring options for each different type of animal. Again, nearby animals, nearby pairs, nearby related. More pairs, solitary hawks, connected hawks. So hawks that have a direct line of sight to each other, but not actually adjacent. That's quite interesting. And then similar where they're networked. Territorial. So the hawks are very different. And then salmon is having a long run of adjacent ones. And then scores for each run. Okay. Families. Surrounded ones. And then family variants. Very, very, very interesting. So there's a lot more options and depth to the scoring than I perhaps anticipated on that one. Again, I've heard a huge amount of praise for the reputation of Calico, but I haven't got to play it yet. But if this is any indication, then certainly excited for that. Because yeah, as I said, I didn't expect that volume of variety in terms of just the scoring options, because I'm assuming you'll only pick a handful of those per game, so that's going to drastically increase the replayability, because it's going to take a while to work through that sort of a pile of options, which is really cool. I love that. But that is everything in the box of Cascadia. Again, similar to Roll Camera, it's not one with necessarily the flashiest components, although I do love these wooden markers. And I love the artwork on these cards and on the actual terrain hexes. But it definitely is an intriguing, beautiful, fun looking game. And I can't wait to play it. So again, same with Roll Camera. I hope to get this on the channel as soon as possible. But with going away next week, that could be tricky. So it probably will be sometime in September. But who knows? I'll certainly do it as quick as we possibly can. I know this is a game that does appeal to Stay, so hopefully that does speed it up a bit. Because, again, I'm away next week. Chris is away this week and next week, so my gaming's kind of halted a bit, but we shall see. I'll be as quick as I can getting both this and Roll Camera to the table. And also, Tinner's Trail should be arriving sometime this week. So hopefully that will be getting unboxed next week. I'll schedule it. And then I've got to try and get that to the table as well. But that's it for this video. So thank you very much for watching. Look after yourself, stay safe, and have a good one. Bye-bye now.